What's up, guys? Welcome to the live composing show. This is Stephen Melin. Hope you're doing fabulous today. This is actually a little bit of an odd time to do a live stream here on a Thursday at 2 o'clock, at least Eastern Standard Time here. Usually we do, like right there, boom, Wednesdays at 10, but hey, I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're hanging out. It's been a weird week for sure. So just a quick little update if you didn't get the news yesterday. The Lilat mission, the Kickstarter that we were doing for Star Fox 64, unfortunately did not get the funding that we needed within that first 5 days, which is the most critical part of any campaign. Did not do well, and so we just made the tough decision to go ahead, take it out back, shoot it. But with that, the redeeming side is we are still going, well, it's no longer a we project. It's going to be a me project. I'm going to finish that sucker by completing all of the arrangements and renaming it and such, but basically releasing it as a digital orchestrated album instead of doing the live orchestral side. It really stinks. I hate killing any project, any passion project, but we're just going to reformat it into something different and still get that in your hands within the next few months is the goal. And so part of this live stream is each week, if I'm not working on something else, I'm going to try to make that a priority to knock out 1 to 2 tracks a week until the thing's done. There's 29 tracks in total if you do the extended version of the soundtrack. And I think I have maybe 15 tracks done. So, about halfway there. Definitely can make it happen. I know that there's a lot of people passionate about that project as well. And I still want to find a way to actually get that into the real game. And the Kickstarter talks a little bit about that, working with one of the mod builds. That's a whole other story. But anyway, I'll share more about that as we get closer. But the purpose of today for this live stream, and thanks for being here, Devin and Pavel, and a few others as they're piling in here. Let me actually switch my view mode so I can see you people. I kind of threw this stream together really quick today because usually I don't do streams on this day. But hey, what are we doing today? Well, one of my best clients, Travis from Fool and Scholar Productions, we work together year round on all kinds of different properties. The very first thing I ever worked with him, was what would you even call it? It's a comic book / motion comic, which is a type of video game it's like a visual novel that, you got to mash the A button to get through all the dialogue, but everything moves on screen because it's like a movie. So it's this really cool blend of genres. But it's based on a real comic book that Travis and Adam Cartwright, I believe, created this whole world called Liberty. And there's multiple podcasts about it and fiction stories and the comic book and everything. But specifically, Liberty Deception was my first project working with Travis. And from there, this was 9 years ago. From there, we've done 15, something like that, projects since then. The most recent of which is Dark Dice, which many of you already know. I've been working on that for several years, but also things like The Boar Knight, all the different variations of Liberty, The White Vault. I'm trying to think of what else. We've also done video game cover stuff together. We've had a really cool friendship and working relationship over the last 9 years. So the purpose of today is just earlier this morning, Travis reached out and he's like, hey, remember those old tracks we made 9 years ago? What if we put together an album that kind of remasters all of them and they're not all my tracks, but it's kind of a collaboration or I guess a various artist album of the different composers involved. It's something in the 30-something tracks. So it warrants having an official release of these pieces of music. But the problem was a few of the tracks that I contributed, this is before, 9 years ago, I wasn't the greatest mixer. And so I was a decent composer, but not a great mixer. I didn't quite understand all the things like limiting and compression and making sure your LUFs, your LUFS, all those levels are clean and it's not peaking and distorting and bleh. So all that to say, I put out lots of music back then that just wasn't super high quality. And so to release them now, I'm not super proud to release things from 9 years ago. That just a wildly different quality level of what I can do now. So I offered, hey, let me get the original files from those Logic sessions, which I no longer use. Since 2017, I've been a PC exclusive user. And I wrote these back in 2016. So there's 3 tracks in particular. The first of which we're going to tackle today is the main theme of the whole Liberty Deception universe. It's called Atreus Endures, and I have it pulled up inside my new window session today. Whoops, there we go. My new window session. And the only reason I even have this is because my blessed assistant, Matt Everett, still uses Logic religiously. And he's like, oh, I can do that. And so he went back into my old files and extracted them. Funny enough, one of these tracks is called Hard Extraction. So he did a hard extraction of the MIDI file and the stems. So whatever he could bounce natively. The only problem is with some of these instruments, he doesn't have the exact same instruments as me, whatever, VSTs. And so not all of it got extracted, but enough of it did that, hey, now I can actually do this, and I'm excited. So all that to say, I now have this, these original files, which is really cool. I can kind of go back in time and see my work. And the original work was good, but I just now have a completely different ear and skill set in mixing and mastering. And I'm excited to just try. Let's see what my modern skill sets can do to improve this and make it a better piece of music. So this main theme, the first one we're going to tackle here today, Atreus Endures. Here's the original wave file. I'll just play a little bit of it. This is still, to this day, I was saying this morning to Travis, this is probably one of my favorite tracks I've ever written. It just, I don't know, kind of, it emblemizes the start of my professional career. It's like the first really good piece of music I wrote, I think, and it's simple. So it builds on all these piano chords, and then all of a sudden comes in with guitar. Some stereo delay. Does the whole chord progression. Then finally, actually these are all live strings, which is pretty cool. I think it's my first time ever recording live strings in like a commercial production, which was really cool. This is where the mix starts to fail miserably, but I'll keep playing it. I'll just go ahead and preface this by turning it down just so we don't blast our ears. I just didn't understand peaking. Oh, I just typed in the chat. 2016 Steven wasn't completely terrible. I think compositionally it's very sound. Production-wise, it's just lacking. And this whole section is just like a brick of overcompressed nonsense. And I think just back then I didn't understand how to stack. I didn't understand phasing. And I bet that there's a lot of phasing going on because these strings were recorded by Joni Fuller, who does a lot of string sweetening. And what she did was she actually played each of the instruments, violin one. But the way she did it, though, is she recorded, 3 or 4 takes of violin, and then violin 2, viola, cello. And in doing that, there's nothing wrong with doing that. But what it does is it introduces phasing like no one's business. which creates artifacts. It creates layer issues versus recording an actual set of 3 or 6 violins, right? Because they're all different instruments, they're all slightly different, the mic positions, just everything's slightly different. So I'm not sure what exactly is going on here, but it could also just be really weird. This is before I understood, it's not always good to mix live with synthetic. So like to mix a string section of like 40 strings mixed with a live violin playing is not always the best. It's sometimes better just to choose one or the other. So those types of things, I had no idea to consider. So I still have all the original MIDI here, which is cool. I'm a little concerned about what I'm supposed to do about recreating this, like this, whatever I call it, reversed pad. I bet you it's it's an Omnisphere patch, because that's what I used to use a lot of. So let's actually start there, because I feel like if there's one thing that's like the identity of this track, it's that reversed pad. Wah, 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 wah. And it's in MIDI form, looks like this. Let's find it. It's just this thing. So let's take that, copy it up here into a new channel, and let's see what we can do with that. And hopefully we can find something similar, because I don't have the stem of it. It's just lost. It's lost to time. I mean, I don't even know how to find such a thing. I mean, maybe like this, like literally type in the word reverse. No, reverse, I don't know. Not sure I'm ever going to find the exact patch, but I can find something similar. So that's really going to be like the #1 thing to find. So maybe I can find within my, I'd call it a pad. But let's see if we can find like, what would you call that? There's no way I'm going to go through all of these. Maybe I can try something like this. Let's just do start playing it. Hey, what's up, Jason? Yeah, it's going to be interesting today, trying to find something that just hits that vibe. By the way, this is why nowadays when I write music, I always, not always, but most of the time, I export all my stems and my MIDI so that nothing is lost to time. You can always go back and find something from years ago. Should you stop using that DAW or that sample library, whatever, there's always a hard version of it. I mean, this is like hunting for a needle in a haystack, but I just need something similar that, I mean, I can always throw a delay on it. I just need something. Let me actually go back and listen to it. Here's the original again. It's that. Ah, it's gonna be a hard one to find. Dang, I'm really sad that didn't make it in. It's like the identity of the track, you know. Let me figure out these chords so I can audition better. So that's E flat, and then G. Yeah, good old. Pretty close, actually. Might be able to just kind of recreate the style. It's like the one thing that's just not going to translate 100%. So this is, you know, to put in context, the story of this comic is it's a dystopian city. And our hero is trapped in this imprisonment. So it has a very like synthetic meets human. Very DC Comics-esque. Almost there, guys. I don't want to spend my whole time doing this, but just need something that's I'm just gonna work with that. I feel like it's close enough. But what I have to do though is get the mod wheel to behave, so I'm gonna record it in. So let's try this. Jumping down the octave. You know what? I have an idea. This is not the best idea, but here's what I'm noticing. If I go to the track, the second half, that part's actually fine. I hate the percussion, but maybe I can get away with it. I have a feeling that I can. I think I can. So here's what I'm thinking. Take this, do a little bit of like a crossfade out, like this, and then get the MIDI playing for the rest. I bet you that'll solve it. That way I don't have to recreate the guitar, and I don't have to recreate any of the synth, because that's such the identity. But the synth is kind of buried for the rest of the track, so I'm just wondering, that might be the way to go. So let's just do this real quick. V1 live, V2 live, violas live. Oh, there's two violas for some reason. Violas 1, violas 2. I used to do that a lot. I used to write multiple viola parts, multiple cello parts. I don't do that anymore because it's not great writing. It was kind of a handicap before I truly understood orchestration. But so let's mute this. Let's just keep riding with this idea. Ooh, I like that. What's playing right now? Oh, Armageddon Ensemble. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. So this actually made it in. Cool. So since we're going to kill this, you guys are getting a little sneak peek into the insanity of my mind. Oh, that's going to be lovely. Here we go. I feel like this is off. Let's crank this up quite a bit. Add up. Let's go to the fast section. There it is. There we go. Let's see if it melds into this one. That might work. Ha ha ha. Wizardry accessed. Here we go. Now let's get these live strings in there. They're all like a beat off, which is weird. But it's okay. Let's get them in there. That's going to be pretty. All right, here we go. No, no, no. I just love that theme so much. It's so simple. Let's get some panning. So over here, let's get this left, like 20. Let's get this left 10. I don't know, 10 and 20 like that. Will that help? Hey, what's up, Travis? Everybody say, hey, Travis. Oh, I shall use all the wizardry to make this happen, because this is a... Oh, look how off that is. See, these are things I just didn't know. I didn't know how to do any of this stuff, man. Flying. Up until that point, what, 2016, 2015, I had worked with live orchestras by that point, but only just barely. I hadn't done a lot of, like, in-the-box production. So it's definitely a learning ground. Let's get all of these and do a little bit of fade in. For whatever reason, this cello is like 1,000 years off. That's what you get with live recording. They don't always follow your prompts to like record on the right measure. Sometimes people just do whatever they want. What is this? Oh, that must be... Like, where's the melody in this? Da, 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 da. Maybe she played it on viola. Is it this one? Where's the melody? I wonder if I still have it. I bet I do. It's probably hiding in my audio files from 1,000 years ago. I still have it. Yes. Okay. Oh gosh. Let me look for it. No, it's like the main part. Let me go into the actual like Logic files. Let's see if it's like in here somewhere. I don't know. Let's explore together. No. It's pretty cool though. Totally hunting here. No, we have all that stuff in the track already. I thought I had it all in here. Where are you? I don't know. What am I missing? Because here it is right here. No. There's no way we didn't record that. It's like the main event. It's in there somewhere. So there's the melody. talk through that melody's not in here. So I guess I don't want to do this. I don't want this to like keep going. I don't know if I have a choice. I think I'm just gonna have to wait. Ugh. It's gonna have to be something like that. Like, since I don't have the original files, what we can do is use all of this information to double what's happening, but a little bit quieter. So I'm gonna take, I like how close everything is. I'm gonna take everything and like knock it down 5 dB. Actually adds a lot of like, you know, closeness to each, because I panned it. Sounds good. I guess all in all, it's better to keep that because it has the original piano sound, the original synth. So really the only thing that needs updating today is going to be this like second half. Yeah, because that's going to be nice. Maybe the best way to approach this still is to maybe take this section that got too loud and peaking and just turn it down and use the other material here. So let's do this like negative 4 dB. That might be too extreme, but let's do a little crossfade and see how that feels with the new information on top. That feels pretty good. So let's take this and knock it down. Let's keep the -5. Again, today I'm just kind of sweetening this old track to make, I don't have to recreate the track. This Armageddon ensemble, let's maybe keep it, but duck it quite a bit. Not bad. Let's go over here. Let's hide some tracks. I'm gonna do this and knock out these guys. Just hide them. I guess disable them, then hide them, so I don't have to look at them anymore. I guess I really wanted to like add, but it's just not appropriate because I just don't have all the original files. It can only hurt the track. It's going to cause phasing if I keep, like, even if I put the same track, the Armageddon ensemble, quieter in the mix, it's still going to cause phasing. I just don't want that. So I think really the best thing here is to kind of supplement the original track with some of this other stuff, duck the end to make sure it doesn't peak, and then over here in my mastering chain, just to make sure I have a limiter set to -0.3 dB. We can actually go ahead and check the volume of it. I love using this, just an EQ, just to test. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100, 101, 102, 103, 104, 105, 106, 107, 108, 109, 110, 111, 112, 113, 114, 115, 116, 117, 118, 119, 120, this number, making sure it never gets to negative, well, it never gets to 0, basically, or never higher than 0. Because this is pre-limiter, so this is right before the limiter in the chain. Actually feels really good. Let me go to this little end moment right here. I feel like that last chord is a little too hot. Do a little crossfade right there. So there's no weird pops. This is actually off slightly. There it is. Cool. Let's take all those and make sure that they're faded out. This way. Mr. Cello is faded out. These get a little fade out. Just quality checking here. Let's make sure all these guys fade in. And they do. Okay. Cool. Last thing here is let's give a little bit of reverb to these new strings. And in doing so, let's toss them first into my real hall from Budapest Symphony. And that I've created my own reverb there. And then a little bit of Aether. Not a lot, like negative 30 probably. Let's see how that feels differently. Let me solo them and you'll hear it. Yeah. Oh, that's so pretty. Hear it? I'm not going to make it swim like this. That'd be overkill. Just a little bit. Now let's do some actual levels of these to make them really, really sing. Let's make them wider. There is some phasing going on, which I don't love, but it's just baked in. So let me experiment a little bit with the EQ just to try to get rid of some of the phasing. There. Hear it? I'm gonna try to take away exactly how much I add. There, 166. Do that on each of them. Ooh, yeah. Yeah, that's super duper phased, but let's just try to fix it. Right there. Hear it? That telephone sound? I mean, this actually sounds like a pitch stretched viola. It might be. Probably is. Doesn't make it bad, it's just... Now let's try something. I really like to use this on my master. It's this curve right here. Let's just do a little bit of it, nothing crazy. This, I think, is going to help everything shine a little bit more by getting rid of some of that mid-range. Too much. There it is, yeah. Now, I don't want to destroy the original mix. I mean, it kind of already is destroyed. There's only so much I can do with, like, the cymbals are very, like, crackly because it's from that original compression. But what I can do is double some of those melodic notes. The first thing that comes to mind, if not horns, then at least choir. So I'm just going to say choir ah. This alone will help with just letting it feel a bit more epic and soaring and cover up some of the mistakes in that original that I can't fix. So this should be a nice mend. Ugh, I hate this new context so much. Ah! Okay, anyway. Freya, that's what it's called. Freya! Let's get legato, women, altos, and sopranos. They're alphabetical, so they're out of order. Ah! There we go. This should be very lovely. Let's leave the mix as it is. That should sound good. Oh, no. Hey, Moogie. Something like that. I wanted to kind of rise up. Jeez, what are these chords? They're very Final Fantasy, aren't they? Very simple, G minor 7. But it's like inversions. That's why I'm trying to figure out the chord. I love it's such a now that I've actually worked with Sakimoto-san, Hitoshi Sakimoto, who is famous for writing Final Fantasy Tactics and Final Fantasy 12 soundtracks. This is very much that's what it is. It's very much his. It's all like minor ninths. Jeez. It's not an E flat major 7. But it's like a... Maybe it is. I guess you could call it either one. Oh yeah, I mean this section of the music is very loud. It's an A flat major 7. That's what it is. And then the C minor 7. Golly, I haven't done this in ages. Well, literally. It's such a cool chord. I like that. Then F7. F sus. Jeez. That's what it is. Cool. I'm gonna write that down because I'm not gonna remember that. So that's A flat major 7. Let's get these in so I can do this properly. La C minor 7. You know what's really cool about going back to my old music? Because I had written less music, most of my older music has a way of being more authentically me. So I think as we get older, we start to like be a chameleon and like conform to other people's styles. Just from nature of habit of having to write millions of pieces of music for different clients and stuff. But I really like going back to some of my old stuff because it's so raw and it's like uniquely me. Clearly you can hear some of the inspirations like from Fallout or from Final Fantasy, whatever I was listening to at that time. But no, oh, can't hear it. E flat major. These are all major 7s. Cool. E flat major 7. That's an F. F sus 4 to just a normal F. And then it does it again, but it resolves differently. Okay, that's pretty cool. And then goes to the deceptive cadence, which is a minor 1, a G. I guess a deceptive cadence would be a minor 6, but in this case, I guess it's the minor 1, because the whole track, remember, is E flat to G. Jeez. Oh, then it goes to the G. That makes sense. Then to resolve. How interesting. That's not something I would like think of today, but I love that. It's so like so primitively my musical language. I just love that. That's so cool. Thanks, Travis, for pushing me to do this today. This is a really cool blast from the past. Yeah, this music's peaking for sure. So let's do this. Let me just go ahead and take everything. And I'm in my mixer and just dragging everything down like a few dB so that we just stop peaking. So here's where I wanted to go. No, 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 no. But I said I was going to do this. I'm going to do horns legato. Let's go ahead and get that melody in here. Still to this day, my favorite go-to horn library. It's a slightly older one, but I mean, when something's amazing, when something's already like a 10 out of 10 perfect, it doesn't need improvement. Where is it? This is from 8DO, the New Century Ensemble Brass. I've never played anything else like this. That's like, that sounds like a real French horn section. I'm going to do 6 French horns all playing together. It shouldn't be 12. That's just overkill. But we're just going to do, we got to do chordal. This is such a cool patch. It has all the instruments in the brass section, except for bass trombone. I don't even think it has tuba, but you can get those at other places. But what it has is these chordal patches, which means you can play the chords and move. So cool. So what do we need for this? A couple things. Let's see if we can get this melody. It's pretty easy, actually. It's just walking up thirds. My volume slip. Oh, I know what's going on. Sorry for yelling into my microphone. I need to go to here. Crank up the volume. Like that. Just let it cut through. Not my best, but let's clean that up so you can see that. Let's start with all legato. Let's do eighth notes on everything so that there's a breath like this. Everything's in 6/4 time. What's this last chord gonna be? Oh, that's so loud. Like that, but let's make them legato, so slightly longer. Make this one not legato. Like that. That should solve it. Let's see if that does it. decide if I should do the harmonies. The chord is. What it is. It's 3-part harmony. Just trying to clean this up. Because the trombones will have the lower note of the 4-note chord. These are all you know, major 7 chords, minor 7 chords. All right, let's try that. We're on to something. Fancy, fancy. I think this entire thing is way too loud. Like as far as mod wheel goes. I gotta just redo this. This is nuts. Let's see if that works. We're still peaking slightly, so I'm going to take one more time. Every track, go over here to my mixer, pull them all down just a little bit. Keep this thing healthy. This last note is not good. Way too loud, so we're gonna make it -5 and do a little cross. All right, almost in business, folks. Let's get the choir in there. Maybe the same. I'll go ahead and I'll get the min in here. Their patch is called Wotan. So same kind of thing, just grab the tenor and the basses. They're already programmed to work so wonderfully out of the box there. So I can let's go and turn them way down in the mix. And since I'm over here, let's take all 3 of those and throw them into some reverb. Not a ton, but enough to kind of have some presence. Probably the exact same as the other guy. Strings earlier, and let's see how that feels. When I go over here, I start playing. So here's both choirs together. Turn women up, men down. Yeah, Marty, what you want to know about crossfading? Yeah, in Cubase or New Window, you just take the range selection tool, grab 2 things, then push X. It'll auto crossfade, and you can change what your auto crossfade settings are inside the preferences. These are already way too loud. There we go. Let's get them in. That's gonna work lovely. Fix that last chord. G minor. All right, take all of these, slide them over. Can't see that. There we go. Make them all quarter note. There we go. Feels good. Still just way too loud for this mix because I'm trying to put them on top of the other thing. All right, let's fill this out from the top. I don't want to spend my entire life on this, but oh, it's already off. now start on the beat. Classic. Classic noob. That's all gonna be the same, obviously. Here's what I need to do. I need to use a maximizer to try to squeeze every last bit of juice out of this mix. Okay, so let's make sure that's all still on. Cool. So we have our limiter, right? Hitting negative 0.3, but after the EQ, which is not, it is on now. Let me go to one of the louder sections. It's actually super tame now, which is good. Oh, thanks so much, Travis. I'm trying to keep the integrity of the original, but adding to it and like enhancing it, right? There's no way I'm going to recreate all of those exact patches without knowing what they are. So here is really my favorite mastering technique or mixing technique, I guess. It's called maximizer. It's essentially a normalizer with a few more parameters. So I'm going to leave this up here so I can visually see whether or not, notice this happens first and then this. I guess I need to look at all three. This is the chain order right here. So it goes EQ with a volume reader right there, maximizer, and then limiter. So nothing should get past this. So we're just gonna make sure that at the loudest moments that our maximizer is going to take the softest moments, bump them up slightly, take the loudest moments and reduce them slightly based on the controls I have right here called soft clip. And I can, typically 50 is a good starting point. I don't want to mess with output gain because that's going to screw up what's going into the limiter. But essentially, oh yeah, already. I haven't done anything and it already sounds better. It's going to be a nice full sound throughout the entirety, which was the big problem with this track. Because if I go to the beginning and it's super quiet, well, now it's not anymore. Now it has some fullness. It's okay, we want some dynamic range, like right now, see that, negative 18, it's a little too quiet. So let's take this, crank it a little bit. See, ooh yeah, if you have headphones on, you can hear all the low end just, has more presence. Yeah, I'm very happy with that. Let's check the next section. Feels good. Next section. Oh yeah. That already sounds 1,000 times better. It's super even. And we want to leave some room to grow in this climax. So let's now jump to the most important part, which is the climax, to make sure that all the levels are good. Hear the difference? This is with no maximizer. Now with it back on. But I want to avoid clipping, so I do have to reduce it some. This is literally just listening by ear and tweaking until it sounds like it's not peaking anymore. It's like right there, you can hear it. See that? It said positive 0.1, so we peaked right there. So I have to reduce this until that's below 0. Looks like I clipped here too. Yep. Okay, so that means the original source files are too loud. So a quick fix for that. Okay, gotta close all these bad boys. Whoops. Quick fix is to take everything again, drag all the volumes down just slightly, about 1 dB. That way, when I go back to here, let's just make sure that it doesn't peak again in the first of the plugins. See, we're safe. Now we can go back into these, make sure that it's not red anymore. There should be no red in any of these 3 steps, but it has to go in this order. Yeah, I think we did it. Hooray. Let's call it a day. Shibuya. That part's a little hot. It's so wimpy. That tells me I need to take this. I made this -3. Let's just do -4. Just literally 1 dB difference. Crossfade. That should actually solve that high-end pop. Yep, that did it. Sweet. There it is. Great. Let's export and go to the next track, yeah? So all I do is set my beginning and end, make sure I have a nice little reverb tail at the end in case of reverbs and such, and then boom, let's export this guy out. What is this called? Atreus Endures version 6. Should be good to go. 48K, 24 bits. We are ready to go. It'll play some of it while we wait.
Take the pain away.
Awesome, awesome. All right, guys, I'm going to open up the next one so that we can jump to another track called Hard Extraction. Let's take a quick little coffee break, and I'll see you in a couple minutes. Bye-bye. Don't go anywhere. Hey, welcome back, guys, to the live composing show. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Yeah, so I'm super happy with what we've been able to finish so far. Knocked out a 9-year-old track for Liberty Deception, and that was the Atreus Endures, the main theme for that motion comic. Yeah, so we're going to be doing one more here today as time allows. We're going to be jumping into the next track called Hard Extraction. which is a bonkers track. I remember playing almost everything live on this track. It's a bunch of like electric guitar, violin, going psycho, electric bass, some choir shouts, some like dumpster hits, stuff like that. It's just super wild and weird time signature. It's like a battle track. So this will be fun trying to revisit this and making it sound good. So here we go. Let's jump in. Let's have some fun. So let me turn this on. Let me just see if things work. And oh no, where'd all my MIDI go? I had MIDI. Let me try this import. Maybe they're like all hiding. That's weird. Oh no, I wonder if, I mean, I don't know. Let me try again. Import MIDI. I wonder if they didn't export correctly from, nope, they sure did not. They did not export correctly, but we might be able to get away with just audio on this one. So let's do this. Let me go over here to my VSTI rack, which is something I never use, and turn off all of this. So these tracks will disappear just like that. And we can have a clean slate right there. Hide. Okay, let's just see what happens when I push play. I'm going to go ahead and mute the original DI instruments. I have no idea what's about to pop out of these speakers. Good luck. Oh my gosh. Ooh, I like it already. But I have to get this lined up. There we go. Cool. Oh, fun. Cool. Oh, there were some strings here. I remember that. This is still super cool. Cool to hear all these layers separated like this. Oh, I see what's happening. Cool. Well, let me go ahead and put my markers in here and make sure everything's where it should be. What time signature is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1. Oh no. This is polymeter nonsense. And this is probably when I was listening to too much Dream Theater and Metallica. It's 5/4, right? Or it's like an eighth. No, it's one of those polyrhythms. Oh, blah, 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 blah. What is it, like 11, 16, something stupid like that? 11/8. Back in my experimental days. Yeah, it's 11/8. Oh, gross. What a doofus. So for my sanity, I'm going to do 12/8. in 11/8. Yeah, that's what it is. What a goof. That's what it is. Come on. So let me quickly 12/8. Ugh. That's what it is. 12/8, 11/8, rotating. Ugh. That's okay. We can be okay with hard things, right? At least it repeats. Stupid type all these in because there's no copy paste with time signatures that I'm aware of. It's okay. Not that many. I like that there's that synth in the background, the synth bass, because it actually helps hold all this together from feeling so alien. But obviously the weird time signature contributes the best to that unsettling nature. That's cool. Just glad I figured it out quickly. This should be a pretty easy solve. It's just kind of mixing from the front end and then maximizing on the back end. I like that synth a lot. And then right here, just make a section for being done, but we gotta have a reverb tail on there, so we'll probably just put it like right there. Okay, 54 is our closing. Whew, that was a lot. So next, I'm missing my strings, but I hope that's it. Let's actually import the original, pop it in here and change the sample rate and stuff. Let's see if I can find the original somewhere here. Ugh, let me find it. Oh, it'll be right here. There it is. Okay, cool. Sample rate. Yeah, I gotta upsample all that. Okay, here's the original. Needs to be turned way down. That was the big problem, is it was super duper peaky. Here, this is what I was missing. Oh yeah, the piano. Dang it. Here's a situation where I don't have all the original sounds. So it's gonna have to kind of be like the last one. This is more of an upsampling than anything. Interesting problem, but at least, you know, I got the session. So now I just need to strategically decide which instruments to double or increase in the mix on top of the old mix, which sucks, but it is what it is. So the first thing I think we should do, I don't want to compress. I'd actually rather just keep this thing at -6 dB. Let's check our levels. This is just an interesting challenge today. It's something I can't access the original stuff, so let's just see how it feels when it gets to its loudest. So let's actually do like -3. Actually, I'd rather do this. I'd rather do -5, and then let's turn the EQ on at 3 to get that bass thumping and pumping. It's gonna help a lot already. Cleaning up the mids, which are just a mess right now. Yeah, that already solves so many problems. Why does it already do so much? It just solves all. Oh my gosh. Gets rid of all the mud right there. It solved it. It just did. This stupid EQ, it just saves the day. Again, it's in the chat. Go watch that video and you'll see what I'm talking about. There's a lot of people up in arms, but it actually works. It's not a catch-all for all things, but it cleans up mixes. I don't want to change it. I really love that piano. It's so in your face. That's the whole point. This whole track just kind of hits you in the face. I should loop. Yeah, I'll leave the tail. Don't want to maximize it. I just feel like it works. The only thing is the strings. I like it. Because it's soft enough that it lets that punch come in at the top. The thing is, even though it's not as loud, like it just doesn't need it. It doesn't need to be maximized because it already feels so loud because of the brightness of the track. Cool. Let's ship it. Ship it, baby. Unless Travis, if you're still there, I don't know. I feel like it works. I solved it. It was a simple solve. No sense in recreating something. Like, I want it to still feel like the rest of the tracks, and it did back then. I just didn't want it to be peaking, and like that little EQ solve and the little limiting at the end, it really does solve the problem. So hard extraction, cool, sounds good. I think by extraction it was like go save the hero who's locked in prison kind of thing, if I remember the story correctly. Hard extraction, and then that should solve it if I just export that. There's my range, 48K, 24 bits. Looking at my settings, and let's listen. All right, let's actually look at that one. Let me go to this window real quick. Let me grab that track. Just look at it. Look at both of these like as waveforms, just to kind of confirm that this was actually a good idea. So here we go, Atreus Endures. Yeah, look how beautiful that is. Ooh, it's like world-class level crescendo. Look at those dynamics, and it never peaks. Yay. Beautiful. Yeah, that feels good. What a cool fix. And then hard extraction. Yeah, see how already it's like to go any higher would, even though it is technically at like -2, it just doesn't need, it already feels louder. Feels louder than the track we just played. And actually it's like -3 below that. -2 below that. Because all these really bright instruments. Perceived loudness is just as important as actual loudness. And that ridiculous bass. Cool. Side by side, same soundtrack. Both have the same feel. Cool. All right, now, quick coffee break again. Let me upload one final track for today. Hi friends, I'm back. Welcome back to the live composing show. Thanks for hanging out with me today. This has been fun. Working on these old 9-year-old tracks from the Liberty universe. This next one is the last one I'm going to do today, and maybe at all for this soundtrack release. It's called Critical Research. So for this one, it was for a podcast intro theme. And I don't even remember what happened here, but let's just jump in and try to fix it and make it better. I just remember it was super loud, like the original, super duper loud. So let me actually go to that track. Here's the original, and maybe it's the same thing as last time. All it needs is a little EQ and turn down, maybe. But let's knock it down 6 dB and just kind of feel it out where we're at. And here's all the stems for it. Oh, that's the old one. I imported the wrong one. Whoopsies. Let me try again. I'm going to call this OG track. Import the correct one here. These were out of order. Weird. There it goes. Okay, same thing. Let's pull it back 6 dB. Hey, thanks for hanging out, Marty. Oh yeah, that's already like super loud. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and mute that and see what happens without it. Let's find out. That hit at the end. Why is it so loud? Oh my gosh. Big hit indeed. Oh my gosh, my eardrums. -12, please. Would be nice. Okay, cool. Here's the good news. I have all the stems, so I can actually mix this and actually do it right. Hooray! So, for anyone still hanging out with me, even if you're not hanging out with me, that's okay. Yay, I'm just really glad to actually have all the things. I can do this pretty quick. First and foremost, we are not on the click. Everything's off. So let's drag it over. Looks like just gonna have to manually move it, take it off the grid. Try to get as precise as I can. Pretty cool. I'm typically write in this style. But I believe this was my remix of a previous track from the previous season. All right, cool. Those bells suck. I like this style. They're super weird and compressed. Let's fix the bells, 'cause that's such a main part here. First thing that comes to mind is EQ. Let's solve the actual sound itself. Somewhere in here it's very buzzy, so we might even have to go like that. Or like find the exact buzz. Yikes, it is like baked in there. So maybe we can do a little ride. There's already some buzz in the track, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to do a little write and read mode like this. Just like that. Now you can't tell because that other nasty buzz, which is intentional, comes in. So here it goes, playing back. Okay, cool. Jeez, that is so out of tune. Just that one note. Let's pop it up like 20. I'm gonna do this. Borrow a note. So it's still real and authentic. And then we'll do this. Just pitch it differently. There it is. Nice. Old wizardry hacks. Cool. Solved it. This guy needs to be way lower. So whenever I'm working with audio, I like to go through and kill all the dead space. So there's no artifacts, there's just nothing that could possibly get in the way. And then I also, in most cases, do a little fade in, fade out on every audio region so that everything feels clean. Now these violin parts, they're pretty pitchy. Maybe I can solve some of that I never solved before. I like it. I played those violins a long time ago. But let's get some reverb, just not like a disgusting amount of reverb like I used to do. Let's do a couple things to help this in a big way. Let's get that Tom Studio going. Whoops. Gotta select 2 tracks at once. Let's get some Tom Studio up in here like this. Set it to -10, which is a good spot. Aether. It's if you want it to sound realistic. Pretty good. We might want more of an effect like rum. That sounds a little cooler. More interesting. I also have a volume problem here. Violin 2 should be way less. Then let's take both of them and decrease both volumes a lot. Pretty cool. And then go to the actual files themselves. I feel like these need to be way shorter, bigger decrescendo. Nice. It's much more tamed. Here's another spot. Same thing. It's more of a timing thing. This is something I learned just years and years of now doing this, working with live musicians. Try your best to like do your entrances and exits together like you would in real life. That's nice, okay? But they gotta be together. There it is. This violin too. Let's borrow that twice, like this. Borrow that. That way I'm not having to do stupid like pitch correction stuff. Instead, I'm using a real recording, just using a better note. Which is flat, by the way. It needs to be about 10 cents higher. But because I now changed the pitch, I have to do a tiny crossfade on each of those. This is like manual auto-tune. It's a whole lot more effective and more natural. There we go. It's very nice. Okay, now let's get back to the track. There it is. Stupid hit. So loud. Why is it so loud? Oh, is it this? It's baked in somewhere. Maybe it's this guy. The cymbal hit. Yeah, that's what it is. And really this is just an EQ problem. So over here, let me find that one track. Let's EQ that. Let's roll off that bottom end. Too much. 100. Fine. 50. There we go. So it's a nice thud. So this hit here, it's actually not bad. Its only problem is the EQ. Oops. Cool. Now let's fit it all together, yeah? cool flanger. Like that. Just need some love here. Probably like... Cool. I like that. Cool. Now let's get to the fun stuff. Let's get some EQ up in her. Maybe just like 2. Chuggy chugs up. Nice. We'll make that the out point right there. Right on 35. Yeah, it's way cooler than the original, for sure. And now I gotta finish up so I can be on time. Have 1 minute. We got this. This one might benefit from maximizing. Only slightly though. Let's do a little bit. So right here, before my limiter, I'll do a maximizer, just like we did before. EQ, maximizer, limiter, so we can see it all in live time. Really just needs a tiny bit, like 25%, not a lot. Just a little bit to boost the whole thing, especially the quieter, like beginning. Like this. I feel like the bass is too loud still. Let's make that -2. You can't see, but... There it is. That feels good. Cool. Perfect. All right. That one's done. So let's get her out like this. Listen as we go and call it a day. Yeah, here we go. Turn my microphone off and I get it going. Hold on, I hear an artifact in the bass. Just one little itty bitty one that's bothering me. It's probably this right here. Oh, I forgot to, ew, yuck, no wonder. I'm just gonna do like this. See if that solves it. Yeah, it does. Okay, back to the show. I know what's happening. It's a really stupid new glitch that keeps happening to me. I have to start the track here to get that pop out of the way. It's a weird new glitch I'm experiencing, but whatever. I'll show you what I mean. All right, let's see if that solved it. So here's what I'm talking about. Let's see if that actually fixed it. Come on, you can do it. I believe in you. Dumb time to crash. I'm like, oh, it's like stuck on bars. That's why. Okay, hold on. There. Weird. Why does it do that? You hear that? Just the first note. It's like adding a fake. Ah! I don't know. I just don't know. Could be. Maybe we have to start the track earlier, like there. Oh. Duh. Ugh. Come on. Noob. There. Easy. Got it. Alright, again, let's test it out. Should have solved it. Let's see, 3.2 is the one we're keeping. Rename to version 3. Open up Audacity, do a little test run. We'll see. There it is. All of its beautiful glory. Let me fix the front end. Right there.